Welcome back to the Stebbins Garage YouTube channel. In part 2 of the Integra Type R video, I'm going to be finishing up the engine bay and also working on the interior, getting that all cleaned up. This thing is turning out amazing. I hope you'll stick around. So this is a 1998 Acura Integra Type R.
So this Integra Type R has been sitting for about 20 years off and on. It's kind of tucked in the corner of Mike's garage. And here we're getting it out. We're getting ready to bring it over to my shop. And I'm going to do a bunch of stuff to it. I hope you'll enjoy this. I had a good time doing it.
Oh, and by the way, I have a new website, so if you'd like to pick up any merch, any of the products that I sell, be sure to check the link at Stebbins Garage. Use SG30. You can save 30% off all the badges, keychains, and other car parts I sell. Thanks for the support.
These wiper arms turned out amazing. Blasted them, took a little wheel that's kind of like a Scotch-Brite on a wheel, cleaned them up, got all the imperfections out. I also put new wiper blades. These are OEM Honda wiper blades on these, so these will be ready to go back on now. I did spray the wiper arm here as well, whatever that's called. And then we got this valve cover coil pack thing sprayed in. That is with some Seymour Paints aluminum. This is going to get replaced with an OEM new old stock part. So I'm going to move on to some of the bracketry that we've taken off. Got a bunch of those brackets over here. And so SEM color code is going to go on anything black, and then anything that's silver. I have this high heat Rust-Oleum. It's an aluminum, but it's a little bit lighter shade than the Seymour. And so we're going to do that. For the heat shield, I just used this VHT high heat paint, and Mike's got some brand new bolts for that. So once we get that, we'll put that in. That'll go there and cover that cast aluminum manifold. Oh, sorry, cast steel. Yeah, so we're gonna just keep moving, and we're slowly picking away. I've got a pretty good list going here, and so we'll make it through most of this. I'm gonna probably work on the seats and some touch-ups. I did get these syringes, which have these, they're not needles, they're like a thing that screws on, and that'll allow me to draw some paint out of here, out of this can. This is an H0, which is championship white. And then we can be real precise on how we touch up. I was just going around looking at some stuff, and I noticed I have not yet gotten this. So I need to clean that out. It's nothing big. I think it's like that on both sides. It's just all the little detail stuff, and we'll go back around and kind of tidy that up. I need to also clean up this panel. I don't want to take it off because I don't want to break any of the clips. So what we're going to do is we're going to clean it up with some simple green, and then we're going to coat it with some ceramic, and that'll make that nice. Then we can put the wipers back on. So here I'm just spraying some Meguiar's all-purpose cleaner. Try and get all the surface crud off of this piece before we coat it. I'm working on this CompTech intake, and I wanted to show you how good that turned out. It's just kind of got all this brown stuff on it. So first I'm hitting it with kind of a thick microfiber and some simple green, and then kind of getting all the crud out of here, and then I'm going over it with a little bit of ceramic that will help with that. You can use a bunch of stuff. The ceramic is probably my go-to for that. Another trick is if you've got one of these clamps, they're kind of ugly, get you some heat shrink, slide that over here. You want to leave enough room for the clamp to compress. So we're going to do that. Then when you go to put it back on, You can heat this too and it'll shrink up, but then when you go to put that back on, nice clean look. So I'm applying some Adams graphene ceramic to this just to protect the finish and give it a little bit of that shine that it was missing. M18 power. So we're going to take these off. We'll clean those up and get some charcoal color paint on them. Got these all cleaned up. We're going to go ahead and hit them with the best glass cleaner, spray way. Get these cleaned up, ready to go ahead and spray in. It's kind of hard for me to get a camera in here while I'm working, but the clutch slave cylinder is kind of rusty, so we're going to go ahead and put some 415 on that. I'm going to stick a little bit of tape behind it so we don't get anything on the transmission, and then just kind of brush that on. All right, I'm going to give this a shot. All right, I got another one I'm gonna try and film for you. So right down there is the line, I think it's for the AC, and it's supposed to be black part of the way. I'm gonna see if we can take care of that. Let me see if I can just lay the camera here where you can see. This is just a 415 satin black, and I'm just brushing it with some, they call them acid brushes from Harbor Freight. They're stupid cheap, like a few dollars for a pack of them, big pack of them, and they're great because you use them and then you just throw them away. Thought I'd pop on and give you a quick update. Still working on the engine bay. This is taking a long time, but it's looking really good. So I have the slave done. It's drying. It's going to be satin, so that'll be awesome. I started to do these fittings because they were looking a little cruddy. Did a couple other pieces. Started to put the brackets back on for the strut bar. And I got the bracket off for the fuel filter. I've already blasted that and put some etching primer on it, so we're waiting for that to dry, and then we'll get it with some color coat. And then I'm just going around and doing some really random stuff. I did this bracket here, the tops of the struts. So it's looking really good. Mike's got the valve cover and a bunch of other parts he's bringing over today, so I can't wait to get the valve cover on and that recoated heat shield, which will look awesome. And then we'll try and clean up some of this aluminum. It's a little tricky to get that looking right without, you know, a dry ice machine or something. But and I also did, you probably will never notice that, but I did the motor mount. So that's been brushed and gotten pretty good. So that's where we stand right now. I'm gonna keep plugging away at this, and then I think tomorrow I'm gonna start on the interior, get that knocked out. Morning. Another day, still the same Type R. So last night we got a delivery from Mike. He dropped off a ton of Honda parts. He got pretty much everything that he could find for this car. And let's take a look at that. All right, so we've got pedal pads. We've got lots and lots of bolts and nuts that are just random, but as you probably already saw, some of those just have some corrosion and stuff. So he's gone through and labeled every part for me. I'm excited about this one. This is the coolant overflow tank. You can see the difference. There's a cap as well. We've got some hoses, touch-up paint, cigarette lighter, just random stuff. These are grommets for this, which we were both stupid excited about. This is an OEM, new old stock, original valve cover for this car. So this is brand new. Let's see if I can get this out. Look at that thing. It is brand spanking new. So let's bring it over here and take a look at it compared to this other one. You can see that one's got just some typical flaking and whatnot. This one is brand spanking new. So I'm gonna be swapping that out today, I think today. And that'll be kind of the centerpiece. Also got some bolts for that heat shield, so I've got those on. That looks awesome. This is really coming together, and this hopefully will be my last day working on the engine bay. Then we can turn our attention to the interior and the paint. Okay, along with our coolant bracket, we also have a cap, which is awesome. There's another little piece that slides in here, which is right here. And then we don't have the little clip that keeps that from coming out the bottle. So Mike is sourcing one of those, but we're gonna put this together in the meantime. So this goes like this, and there's supposed to be a clip that clips around there. I'll take you with me. This one's really easy. It just pops out like this. Sit that cap there. Here's our new one. You can see the difference, new and old. The color is quite different. So this one just pops on. Perfect. We'll save this. Nothing wrong with it. Just it's a little discolored, but we'll put that in the pile. I think I covered this yesterday, but these are the brackets that I have cleaned up and are ready to go back on. So those are the strut tower bolts, nuts. This is a brand new bolt that holds the bracket for the fuel filter. The other one was stupid rusty, so Mike was able to get one of those. I went ahead and bolted in a few more brackets. Not very exciting stuff, but I got that one done and this one for the coolant bracket. There's a couple of headlight brackets that need to go in. There's one that goes there, one that goes there. So I'm gonna go ahead and put those in, snug those down, and then put our, I gotta paint that with some Pour 15. You won't really see it a whole lot, but we want it to look like this one, which turned out really good. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Okay, that is in. This needs to go on. We've got a little clamp for that I need to grab. So that's what we ended up with. That's a nice gradual bend. That won't be any problem. This doesn't really move, so we're not going to worry about any of that. Happy with that. Throttle cable bracket is off and getting recoated, and then I got bolts for that. It is time to go ahead and put our intake back on. So this is fairly straightforward to do, I think. Get that there. There we go. All right, got that there. This is here. Our cool little box cover just goes like this and then kind of clips on. All right, that's back together. It's now time for our strut bar to go back on. I left those brackets loose. That way we could kind of move things around as we needed to get it aligned. I'm on day 3 of engine, I don't know, day 3 or 4 of cleaning up and whatever. And I'm kind of tired of working on this part, so I'm looking forward to moving into the interior. Here we go, much success. Well, that's pretty much all there is to that. Guess it's time to get the other one ready to go back on.
put it on here. See how that goes. Shoot. It's way easier than that was. Well, the valve cover's on. That all looks beautiful. And I think we're gonna kind of call it here. I could probably continue, but there's now, I guess, 6 work days left until Rad Revival. And I got a bunch of other stuff to do. I got another car coming in Sunday that I gotta work on. And so let's take a look at what we got done and see what you think. That's quite the transformation for a few days of me out here cleaning and doing whatever. So I'm really happy with that. Now I'm gonna jump on the interior. I wasn't gonna show this part, but figured you might enjoy it. So this is the under panel on the driver's side, and this little button was missing. And so I went ahead and pulled it off. You've got to take off a lock ring, but you also have to depin the plug for it just so that it'll pass through. And so I think this is some kind of alarm bypass. Anyway, Mike got a new one, and rather than me trying to futz with trying to get that button off and potentially breaking it, I thought I would mess with the connector instead and potentially break it, but I didn't. You can probably see there I've got the blue and the black marked, and then once that closes and locks that in, you'll never be able to tell that I was in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this back together, but I thought I would show that real quick. Next up, pedal pads. These are as simple as just pulling them off and sliding the new ones in place. And as you'll see, the gas pedal's a little more challenging, but not too bad. There we go. Big difference. All right. I think. I hope. Ow. There we go. Brand new. Look at that. I didn't even have to clean it. All right, next thing we're going to try and clean is this Alcantara piece. This is actually a cover that goes over the original. These things are stupid expensive for a used one, like $1,300. And this one's fairly worn to the point where I don't think I can restore it. But Mike said underneath the Alcantara is matted. So I'm going to take all the screws out of here and see if maybe the one that's underneath there is savable. Let's take a look. All right, so there is one under here. That's good. Gonna be real gentle trying to get this cover off. All right, now that I've got this off and I think we're in pretty good shape there, I've got some Sonax Alcantara cleaner. I'm gonna just put some of that on there first, and then I'm gonna worry about this later. I don't know exactly what we're gonna do there, but for now I'm just gonna spray some of that on there, let it dwell, and then see if we can bring that back. I think we can. So the real thing we want to do is use this to get this fiber to stand up, and so we'll hit it with a microfiber and kind of clean it that way.
All right, so now that we've got this all cleaned up and pretty good shape, have something pretty cool. This is the original badge that came on this. It goes just like this. You can see the little pin things are on it. So we're gonna take that off. We're going to actually slide this back where it goes and then put this back together so we can get it back in the car. This goes just like so. And there we go. All good. Another day, back on the Integra. We're pretty much finished with the engine bay, I think, other than maybe a couple stray pieces that Mike might bring over to us. But it's time to go ahead and tackle these seats. So you can see, I think I've shown you this before, this seat's got some stuff. That's baby formula. Mike spilled some there, and then over there, there's a little bit of stuff that got spilled. So we're gonna go ahead and get the extractor out, clean this up some, and get that cleaned up. We also need to change out our steering wheel for that one, which is the factory steering wheel. And Brad is on his way over at some point today to take care of any of the small little dings that we see. And then I'm gonna start polishing the paint and touching up what I can. And then we'll work on the wheels, the brakes, that sort of thing. And we'll get this all going. Again here, I'm just using some Meguiar's all-purpose cleaner that's diluted. We're spraying that into the seat and trying to get all that stuff loosened up. I have my extractor here and you can see it's pulling out quite a bit of stuff. The seats are cleaning up nicely. They're in great shape. They just had a little bit of dirt on them from over the years. So we're getting that taken care of on the front and the back, and the results really speak for themselves. Look at that. Well, that's what we've gotten out so far. A lot of that is foam, but look at that. Goodness, I would have never guessed that those seats had that much stuff in that and the carpet. That's why we do it though. Okay, we got pretty much done with the interior as far as cleanup goes. These seats turned out freaking amazing. Got the original steering wheel back on with the airbag. I verified that the horn works. Beep. Still not sure if Mike wants me to change out the shifter knob now or just leave it. He's got a brand new OEM shifter handle that matches the red stitching. It's leather, but I'll leave that up to Mike. Been doing a little bit of touch-up work, so we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next stuff, which is the paint, and start getting that all touched up. And I think we're gonna be in really good shape with this to have it ready for the rest of the weekend and Rad Revival, so Mike's daughter can take this to the show. That's gonna be pretty freaking cool. So that's what we're working on next. I'm excited. This has been a project for sure. So that's gonna do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe this video so my channel continues to grow and I can keep doing this. Stay tuned for next week. We'll have part 3, the final part of the Integra Type R restoration, rebuild, whatever it is. And we'll check out Rad Revival. I'll see you next week.